you get into real estate, did you make $100K your first year?
I made almost 400,000.
400,000 your first year real estate.
What I did was I bought a lot with it, $242,000, and I built a house. And boy, did I make every mistake with building that house. School construction cost me over $1 million.
Oh yeah, no.
And I'm doing 4 right now,
Yeah.
and I help some of my investors flip their own houses. I just can't help it, but I love it. I love it. It drives me.
Get ready for Real Lives of Real Estate, where the world of real estate meets the essence of your life. Buckle up as we unravel stories, homes, and the heartbeat behind it all. Let's dive into another episode. I hope you share and are encouraged. I am here with Michael Martinetti, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend. They call him Union County next mayor. Not even Union's next mayor, the whole county. What, can you have a mayor of a county? I don't think that's a thing.
Maybe I'll be the first.
Wow, okay, there you go. All right, realtor extraordinaire and a friend of mine, for sure. Welcome. Thank you for coming on through.
Me.
Yeah, man. Look, I want to start off with a question we always like to ask. What did you grow up in? Did you grow up in a single family house, an apartment, a building? What did you grow up in?
I grew up in the same single family house. It was about a 2,400 square foot house in Union. I moved from one bedroom to the other bedroom to the basement.
Oh, wow.
And I lived there for almost 30 years. So I lived home till I was 29. Yeah, never moved out.
In the same house?
Same house. Yep. I just drove by it yesterday. It was weird driving by your house. You had almost 30 years of memories in, and seeing it.
And how old are you, if you remember me asking?
I'm 33.
So this is pretty much your whole life?
Yeah, pretty much my whole life, man. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Why do you, no one likes to move in your house?
No, I mean, if it wasn't for me, my parents would still be living there till today. I built them a house 3 blocks away from me, and I basically yanked them out of the house. They didn't want to go. 2 doors down was my grandparents. So I grew up having grandparents next door, which was great. Experience that. Yeah,
So
a lot
special.
of people would probably love to have that opportunity. And for me, it was amazing. They instilled a lot of the skill sets and qualities I have in my life now just from them being there, kind of having like a second mom and dad.
Wow.
So it was awesome, and they lived to be 94, 92.
Oh my God.
So yeah, they were part of my life for
full. They had a full life.
Yeah.
Super full.
Yeah.
A little bit overly full.
Yeah.
92, 94.
Yeah, I saw my first. My grandfather met my first child. So yeah, it was cool. Yeah, yeah, man.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's special.
Yeah, it was.
When did you? Let me ask you a question. At what point, growing up in that single family, did you realize that your parents owned the house?
It's a good question. I think probably younger than most people would say. I knew they owned the house probably around like 8 or 9, because I started making money around 8. I remember I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, and I went home one day and I told my mom, I said, "Ma, I want to start cutting lawns and like doing snow, and I want to ask Santa for that." So my Christmas list was snow blower, lawnmower, wagon, leaf blower, and Santa brought me all that.
Wow.
So that's probably when I knew they owned the house. And that we weren't renting, and when I started to learn like just financial opportunities and things like that. So
what kind of kid wants a snow?
Yeah, just a wacky one like me.
Wacky, so wacky. All right, and then your parents thought, okay, hey, he's gonna do the lawn work.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
this kid
So
out.
they were all in, So
Wow,
I was
okay.
cutting lawns, and I had my mom go to work and print out like 200 flyers. I went door to door.
And your mom's job.
Yeah, so I didn't have to pay for print. Yep, 100%.
Just leave it.
Yeah,
Call Mike.
and then I delivered it in the neighborhood.
Wow, you were
and then I would
door
walk around. Yeah, I would walk around and do the snow and lawns, and like
Wow.
I was, dude, on a good snowstorm, I made like $500.
Oh, let me tell you
We're going
something.
back almost 30 years ago.
Every single time it snowed, I would always shovel since I was like 15, 14, or 13, not that young, but 14, 15. And when I was getting into, like, I grew up very low income. So I did it because I wanted things.
Yeah.
So I would even knock on my neighbor's door and say, hey, do you need any help around the house with like anything whatsoever?
Yeah.
Can I help? And I remember literally bringing in groceries for $10.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Good
like
idea.
I was in
Yeah.
1960s.
Yeah.
So in the early 2000s, we used to call it when it snowed white gold.
Yeah.
Because it would be like you make so much money.
Of course.
And it was all cash.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you were like cold as hell. But
Hell
you,
yeah.
you pull out that wad and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and that person hit you with a $20 tip because you
Yeah.
did a good job.
Yeah.
Can you hit the apron of the driveway?
Happy.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'd spend all day doing it.
Can I tell you what my trick was? I had $1 million trick. Everyone listening, you should take this if you're trying to get in the snow removal hustle. I would say like, oh, how much do you charge? I would say whatever you feel comfortable with. Just whatever you feel fair.
And they would
And they would always go crazy on the pay.
Yeah.
Because instead of me haggling about price, I would say, hey, whatever you feel is fair.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, you got a jerk off who would give you like $15 or $10 or $20. But very often, I would get crisp 100.
Interesting, because I always gave a price. I remember.
Yeah. I started off with a pricing strategy. Then I realized, man, I'm losing clients because of this. So when I said, hey, I'll do it for free, people would never, like, people feel so guilty, right?
Yeah.
It's a law of reciprocity, whatever.
Yeah.
Reciprocity.
If somebody said that to me, I would overpay him 100%.
Overpay.
100%.
Yeah, every time.
100%. Not a doubt. Yeah, 100%. If somebody said, I want to shovel your snow, and then they give me a price, I'm going to give them way more than they would have told me, just because I don't want to be a jerk off.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, now
I'd be your perfect.
Oh, you're the guy who I was looking for. I was like,
100%.
Naga, you bike?
Yeah.
So, all right, back to the real estate world. So let me ask you this. So you have this house. It's really special that your your grandparents are so close.
Yeah.
I think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
How would you say that impacted you, being so close relationally with your family?
I mean, it's great. You basically get mentorship from two parents, right? Because you have your grandparents and your parents. So everything your parents wouldn't let you do, grandma did. You go to grandma's house because, grandma's not going to say no, right? Grandparents are there to do all the things that your parents say you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to eat, and that's what they do. But on a serious note, they instilled a lot of qualities to me that other kids don't get to experience, or they're in after school programs because their parents are working, or they're home alone, so they're not being stimulated and they're doing whatever the hell they want. I always had a mother-father figure in my life, so it allowed me to just prosper because when my parents were working, I was being pretty much raised by them. And then when my parents came home, I was raised by them. So I was getting two different types of parenting skills and things like that, of qualities being instilled in me without realizing it, that made me the man I am today. They always allowed me to stay busy and never let me get on video games and things like that. I was always doing things, going to the park or doing whatever. And I'm only a child, right? So I grew up by myself, but I was never bored. I never really was alone. I was always out playing and kind of create like that work ethic that I now have, now, which drives my business.
Yeah, and really fully drives your business, literally. Yeah, you're like a workhorse, this man.
Yeah, I mean, I work more than people probably think, but not anywhere near as much as people think as well.
Oh, wow, both.
Yeah.
Now, you said that you yanked your parents out of that house and you built them a house nearby. What made you move your parents?
I just want my kids to have the opportunity to have what I experienced, and then also my parents are older, so they didn't have me when I was young. When they were young, rather. So it's easier for me to help them do their snow, and God forbid something happens, I'm 2 blocks away.
Yeah, that's true. How far were you? Where do you live now?
I'm in Clark.
Clark, okay.
Yes.
Oh, so and now how far were you previously to them? Like 15 minutes?
15 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a little bit, God forbid.
I was never away from them. As soon as I moved out, they moved in with me, and then once our house was done, they moved in. Yeah, I was never away from them, ever.
There's no way that's true.
Yeah, never
Now,
away
I met your wife in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Your wife is wonderful. Very, very, very kind-hearted woman. Let me ask you a question here. What would you say, how does the wife feel about the family being so close?
She probably didn't like it and probably would never want that to happen again.
Okay. Them living with you?
Yeah. But it's great that they're close, and my kids enjoy like getting picked up from school from them and going to their house. It breaks up their day. And they know how to get there already, which is great. My kids, Mia's 10, so she obviously knows how to get there, but Michael knows how to get there. Joseph kind of knows the routine. Alina's only 1, so she has no idea.
To get to the house.
Yeah, but they if I told my boys to go, they know how to get to their house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really beautiful. How often do they see each other? The great kids.
I'd say like once or twice a week at a minimum, if not more. I don't know during the week when they see each other because I'm not really home.
Yeah.
But it's probably more than once or twice a week now. I'm thinking about
sweet.
It.
Well, all right. Now, your story is actually very interesting because my wife is a school teacher.
Yep.
Right. And you graduate from Union High School, right? You're a big Union man. You get into, can you tell me a little bit transition from what got you into
real estate?
Not real estate, actually teaching.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like, you grew up, you clearly had a lot of ambition. You clearly have this hey, young hustler. Why become a teacher?
When you're 18 years old and you're immature like I was, and your mom says, okay, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? You're kind of like,
wow, what a question.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm like, I don't know, Ma. Like,
yeah.
I want to do sports marketing. So she got me an internship at the Jets.
No way.
Swear to God. So I worked with the Jets. I worked there for 3 weeks. I said, Ma, I hate this. I'm not doing this. Get me the hell out of here.
Why'd you hate it?
It was awful, dude.
What?
They just don't treat you well. You're basically like a little peasant running around. You're making no money, and it just sucked. I was like, Ma, this is not for me. This is not for me. So she made me stay there for like 2 more weeks, and then I was like, Ma, I don't ever quit in life, but I'm quitting this job. I'm not doing it. It sucked. So
wow.
she didn't like that I quit, but I quit.
Wow.
And then she's like, well, now what do you want to do, Michael? And I was like, I don't know, Ma. I was like, I like kids. I like sports. I'm kind of good at them. I'm going to be a gym teacher. And she's like, great. You should go be a teacher. I said, great. That's what I'm going to do. So I went to be a teacher.
Wow.
Yeah,
so from sports marketing to an internship with the Jets,
yeah.
you find your way
Yep. Yeah.
teacher. And, okay, and where do you end up teaching at first?
So I wanted to change the world, just like any other 21-year-old immature boy did. So I wanted to teach somewhere where I could make an impact on children and really try to change the world that I thought I was going to. So I ended up in Newark,
the homeland,
the
promised land. Here we are in Newark.
Yeah.
Come on, cruise, Scott Mansion.
Yeah.
It's funny too because my wife's a school teacher. She felt the same way. She still does. She only wants to work with urban urban youth. Originally when she came, I was like, hey, I can get you a job in like a uppity area. She's like, no. Because she was a teacher in the DOB.
Right.
The DOE, the Department of Education in New York. And she came to Jersey. She's like, no, I only want inner city. I'm like, Deb, you're insane. This is crazy. Yeah. She's like, no, I only want inner city. Now it's funny. We live in Newark. My wife works in Newark at the church over here in CC in Ironbound. My office, you're in the office right now, Newark, and pretty much my whole life is Newark. Yeah. And it's funny just because I'm like, I can't imagine you as like that.
Yeah. And, I did it for 5 years. It's not like I did it for a year or two. I did it for 5 years. And then I had
5 years?
All I had to do was go to work the next year for one day and I would have been tenured.
And what does that mean?
Tenure means job security, unless you do something absolutely
crazy,
ridiculous. Yeah, you got a job for the rest of your life.
You had to go to school for how much longer?
1 day.
Okay, pause. 1 day.
Yeah.
What do you mean 1 day?
I had to go to school and not get fired on the first day of school, and I was tenured for life.
Whoa. Okay. So walk me through, how did your life get impacted by, what was your life look like, your personal life, that is, outside of this when you were a teacher? So,
I was wishing my life away, honestly. And it wasn't because I didn't like working where I worked or the children. Mm-hmm. Just the whole school system. I'm not going to get into it, but I don't necessarily like what they were making us do. I don't necessarily agree with how a lot of the school systems run things, what they are making you teach versus what they're not. And I just wasn't really into it.
Even at that, this is what, 10 years
ago? We're going
probably 12 years.
12 years ago till 7 years ago.
And now
it's even,
now it's in New Jersey too. Very liberal, very progressive.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't for it. I didn't agree to it. I wasn't in. And Newark didn't have a contract, so I never got a raise. So for 5 years, I made the same money.
What?
Yes, no raises.
No. That's
not even
no way.
Yeah. Same money for 5 years.
Why didn't they give raises to teachers?
Because it was shut down. They couldn't come. There was no agreement between the teachers and the teachers union. So I made the same amount of money for 5 years. Right, I was making $1,311 every 2 weeks. $1,311 every 2 weeks.
$1,300 a week. Every 2 weeks
to be a teacher.
26.
And mind you, I was at a renew school. So what that means is you're working extended day. So we start at 7:35. I didn't get home till 4, and you have to work 4 Saturdays a year, and you had to work 3 weeks in August.
What?
And there's there's only major holidays. So Jewish holidays weren't.
Oh my gosh! So who wants to be a teacher at that school?
Yeah, not me.
Wait, what the heck? Do you know now the starting pay at Newark teacher, I think it's like $63K, $62K, sign on $60K, $61K,
which is
and
ridiculous.
even that they're having difficulty. They're just negotiating out for another pay increase. You can't survive off this. In Newark, it's very brutal.
I mean, just imagine. Let's take 2 teachers. Okay, let's say they have a child, $120,000, and they live in New Jersey and they have a child. Yeah, where are you going? It's the most underpaid job outside of nursing in the world.
Yeah, I agree. I truly agree.
In the world.
I truly agree.
Nurses are the number one most underpaid profession in the world. Yeah. Second is teachers.
I agree with you 100%.
And a close third is cops and firemen.
Everything you said, word for word.
It's ridiculous.
That's what I was telling you before about one great thing in Newark. We were talking about like crime in Newark. Newark's crime rate has gone down. They've hired more cops. Yep. The cops, their approach, Ras Baraka is a phenomenal man, the mayor. His approach to solving crime is huge. Not very popular. Yeah. Not very popular.
And that's okay.
But he's putting more. Last year, they hired like 60-something cops just in 1 year. They're getting cops that their approach, young cops too. Where you guys see with everything right now, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be a cop anymore. I want to be a cop. They're getting young cops and that are coming with fresh perspective, really trying to do their thing, honoring the tradition of the past. But you got to, man. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. These guys are going, even in Newark, it's crazy what these guys are willing to do. Yeah. But you're right. For teachers especially, the bottom of the totem pole.
It's a joke.
You no matter how hard you work as a teacher, you have to be there for what, 20 years to make 100-something grand?
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And you have masters and
And now
masters.
you don't have benefits for life. They took that away from
Really?
you. Yeah, no. It's a joke,
Oh, yeah.
dude.
It's going to be very hard to be a teacher.
It's a joke.
Very hard to be a teacher.
Meanwhile, we make what we do. Not that what we do is not hard, right?
Yeah.
It is.
But for sure, the teachers are busting their butt. And you're saying
close.
4 Saturdays.
Yeah.
So, so how was your personal life in that?
It was affected because my day was basically consumed with teaching, and I just like dreaded going to work every day. I didn't love it, right? And I felt bad because it's like I love seeing those kids, and I was an outlet for a lot of them, right? A lot of them didn't have dads. A lot of them may not have even had parents. So to them, like they're excited to see me, and I was excited to see them. And I liked the people that I worked with, and I had an amazing principal. She was awesome. It's probably the only reason I lasted as long as I did. She allowed me to do my own thing. She didn't micromanage me. She didn't, she was awesome. Really nice woman. Wow. And she wanted to have a positive change in the kids' lives, and she did. And she's done a lot of big things in Newark.
Wow,
and,
huge.
So that was awesome. It was just the stuff that her and I couldn't control, which ultimately drove me to quit. Yeah. And I remember I cried my last day.
Wow.
When the kids knew that I was leaving and that it was my last day, I cried, and I hugged the woman that I taught with for 5 years. Wow. And it was very sad. It was very, it was tough. It was hard for me, because I love those kids.
You love the kids.
And I knew that a lot of those kids were not going to probably ever see me again or talk to me.
Or have a teacher like you.
Right.
I remember one time you told me a story that you were on the bus with kids. Yeah. It was their first time leaving Newark. Yep. I'll never forget that story. That was crazy.
It made me really realize how like well I had it, right? And I don't come from money, right? We don't come from a
wealthy family.
No, we're just normal middle class. Parents had to work, right?
You had a home, but you weren't. Okay, we're gonna go on this.
Like I knew what I could ask for versus what I couldn't.
Correct.
And I knew that. Like I knew my norm, right? And I knew I had it better than a lot of people, but I also knew I was not
correct. You were middle class.
Yeah, it was middle class. We were very middle class, right? Yeah. I would always do things to raise money for the school, coat drives, food drives.
Wow.
Take them on trips. And so we were going ice skating, okay? We went over a bridge. And when I tell you, you would thought that the bus just saw 2 people in the middle of the highway fighting naked was the noise. Like, they were just like, oh, my God. And so I'm looking, I'm like, what happened? I'm thinking somebody's fighting. I'm like, what's going on?
It's out.
And they're like, we're on a bridge. I'm like, so I just sit down and I'm like, I'm sitting there and I remember I was just like, holy shit, we're on a bridge and these kids are going nuts on a bridge. Could you imagine going on a bridge?
Yeah, it's like no big deal. What are we talking about?
And they were going nuts. It was like literally, I thought somebody was fighting. Like I thought something crazy was happening.
Okay, well, Mike, now I got to ask you this. So the last day of your teaching, you got into real estate. That was the pivot?
Yeah, so last day of teaching, I rented a shore house in Belmar, partied all summer, and was going to school during that.
Going to school for what?
The real estate.
Okay.
And nobody in my life wanted me to do real estate, by the way. Nobody.
So what put that seed in your head?
So when I was 23 years old, I was hungover on the beach outside of DJ's on 18th and Belmar. And my best friend's wife's cousin.
My best friend's wife's cousin. Okay.
Yes. His name's Chris Taglia. And he probably doesn't even realize how much he has to do with where I am in my life because I've never told him. I've never had a conversation about him. Mm-hmm. But this guy is the reason why I do real estate because he was on the beach. He was telling me he owned a 2-family in Garwood and he made $1,600 a month. So my light bulb just went off. So what do you think I did?
Click.
Yeah, so...
Snowblower.
Yep. So now I'm like, okay, I'm going home, tell my mom I'm buying a house. So what I did, I went home. I said, Ma, I got a great idea. I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to make money.
Meanwhile, you just quit your job.
Yeah, no. I was still teaching at the time.
Okay.
I was still teaching at the time. And so 2 months later, I bought a house. Oh. By the way, I overpaid a significant amount for that house.
Where was the house?
2-family in Union.
Oh,
And I still own it to this day.
Nice.
Yeah, still own it to this day.
Sentimental.
Yeah, it's a
probably
rental.
should sell it.
Yeah,
no,
probably.
You're not selling it.
I'm not selling it. I should, but I'm not. But so I bought that house, and I was making money. So I was like, "Damn, this is great."
How much were you making?
I was making almost $1,800 a month. Now, mind you, I'm only making $1,313 every 2 weeks. But now I'm making $1,800 extra.
It's basically almost double your income.
You're right. So then I'm saving. I'm living home, right? I'm turned 26. I bought my second 2-family. By the way, I overpaid for that house too. Was the most expensive house to ever sell in Union as a multi. That house that I bought at
the second one
at $465
as an investor. You bought this one
as an investment, right?
Wow.
So I overpaid, but fast forward,
Yeah, you look like a genius.
Yeah, right. 8 years, almost 8 years.
Yeah, you're the smartest guy in the room.
I could probably sell for 9 right now.
Boom, free.
But those 2 houses, I was making almost $4,000 a month. So I quit teaching, and I
you
knew,
actually replaced your income and then some.
correct.
Oh, wow.
Correct. So I knew what I was doing.
But you were an investor at that point.
I was.
Still living at home.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a question. You're 30. Okay, this is I'm very interested in this.
Yeah.
Okay. You got me so excited. So your second investment property, but how do you get into real estate as a job?
I just thought that I knew people and people would like me, and I kind of knew the process a little bit.
You bought 2?
Yeah, so I wasn't completely clueless, and I sold candy in high school. I sold I did lanyards and sold them during 9/11.
Yeah.
Like I sold crazy things. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I could sell lanyard to somebody, how can I not sell a house, right?
Yeah.
And the goal was to sell enough to make $100,000 a year and buy 1-2 family a year. That was my goal. That's all I was looking
By
to
1-2
accomplish.
family a year, I'll be set.
Yep.
Not
That's
even
it.
a 4 family.
No.
You said 2.
2.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. You know.
Wow.
That's-
And now here we are. What is that? 7 years later.
Yeah, 7 years later.
Okay, let me ask you some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
Okay. Well, how would you say, because how old are your kids?
10, 4, 2, and 1.
10, 4, 2, and 1. So you had a kid all with
Kate.
Sorry, I apologize, Kate. I do like you a lot. I'm so sorry for your name. You are a sweetheart. So all with Kate. When Kate was with you when you were a teacher?
No. Kate met me just 2 years into my career.
But you have a kid that's 10. How long have you been in real estate?
So Kate was married prior to me. Step. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
step. Okay, gotcha.
So Michael was consumed. Yeah, he's December 17th.
So wow.
He's gonna be 5 this year.
Beautiful. Okay, so that was your first with Kate.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, so how does it work? You get into real estate. Did you make 100K your first year?
I made almost 400,000.
400,000 your first year real estate. Okay. What did that shift kind of do to you?
So my first year didn't do much. I bought a shore house. So
Wait, pause. No, stop that. You're making $2,700 a month as a teacher.
Yeah.
Net after taxes, more or less.
Yeah.
26 and like $50.
Yeah.
You go from $2,650 to $35,000, $32,000, whatever it is, $35,000 a month.
Yep.
$33,000 a month. You're telling me that doesn't change your world?
It didn't change my world because what I did was I bought a lot with it.
A lot? Oh, literally
a lot.
A
And I
lot
built
of
a
land.
house. Yeah, in Tom's River.
Why'd you do that with your money?
Because I knew it was smart.
Why was it smart?
Because I knew that it would gain value for me. And I
How do you know that? You're so wet behind the ears. What gave you the chutzpah to do new construction?
I won my stock market project, and I knew that stocks built wealth, and I owned homes that I knew were worth more. And I always knew that my parents' house was gaining value. So I just knew it was smart to do without knowing, right? I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
I
didn't know.
but I just assumed that was a smart thing to do.
Now you know.
Now I know, yeah.
But before you did, before you knew.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and you bought a piece of land?
Piece of land, 75 by 100 piece of land,
Great
$242,000, and I built a house.
And you built a house.
And boy, did I make every mistake with building that house. School construction cost me over $1 million.
Oh, yeah, no. Yes.
I'd go back to college tenfold.
Yeah.
School construction, I'm over $1 million.
This is my biggest weak. I have a lot of weaknesses in life when it comes to real estate and things that have really impacted me for the worst. My number one weakness is project management, construction project management.
Yeah,
I'm great at project management when it comes to our company, leads, database, marketing, helping, working with clients, doing seminars, all that stuff. Great. When it comes to managing my own construction projects, I am literally the worst.
Yeah,
I will make a great flip turn good. Yeah. Right? Like I will bring it down. Like that's the only reason why I've survived is because I buy so cheap.
Yeah.
But man, it's caused me immeasurable stress.
Yeah.
The school construction, you called it?
Yeah, school construction.
Yeah, man. The school construction is very expensive, man.
It is.
I hate that school. I don't want to go back. But I'm going back.
Yeah, because
I'm in it right now.
We're glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
I'm doing 4 right now.
Yeah.
And I help some of my investors flip their own houses. So it's I'm just glutton for punishment.
Why do you do it?
Because I just am an idiot and I just can't help it, but I love it. I love it. It drives me. It just
okay.
It's the chase.
Did you end up building the house?
I did.
Did you sell it?
Nope. I still have it.
What do you do with it?
I use it 3 months a year.
What
don't rent it out.
You don't even rent it out. You don't. Hey, you need a place to stay there for a while, friend. This is your sanctuary.
It's really for my kids. They love it. They ask about it all winter long. They don't have the concept yet of that we only go down in the summer. So they ask about it because they want to go because they relate to that to going on the jet skis and the boats. And
but is it on the
swimming in
water or
pool.
no?
It's on the water, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, so you got a great lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And it's in Tom's River.
Yeah, Tom's River.
Right where? Like east of Tom's River? Like,
So if you know where the Seaside Bridge is, I can, as soon as I come out of my lagoon, I see it.
oh, you're right there.
Yeah, I'm 7 minutes from the
Oh,
boardwalk.
you're great. Oh, great
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, I got good location
Oh,
for
you're
that.
the best. Probably one of the better spots in
Yeah,
Tom's River.
yeah.
Oh, wow. And Tom's River has increased so much in value, so you've
It
definitely
has.
done well.
Yeah, with all my mistakes and everything I did wrong, I still somehow have some property
Equity.
equity.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this: so you were single when you built it.
Yep.
Did you built a single family house as a single man living with his parents,
Yep.
making $400,000?
Yes.
Okay. What did your friends think about you when you did that?
It took 5 years to build, so we never enjoyed it as a single man.
It took 5 years.
I told you the school of construction was very expensive. Yeah, I hired a builder, then I realized I was getting hosed. I fired him. I hired another builder, didn't go well. Fired him. Then I tried to finish it, but I didn't know what I was doing. That took forever, and I was working. I was so busy with real estate, I couldn't go down there and manage it. It was a disaster. It was a nightmare. So we've only been using the house for 3 years, and by the way, I have probably close to 100 violations on the house right now, because I have to close all permits out and everything's done wrong, and it's a nightmare that I'm still living, by the way.
Do you know what's so sad about this? Well, I feel bad for you. I feel very happy for me in this moment. I bought a piece of land in Tom's River, Old Church Road, 2200 Old Church Road.
Okay.
I bought it for $105,000, a lot, pretty big lot actually, but it wasn't the best location. And I was going to buy and build. Same thing. This is last year. I was like, man, I don't know if I should build. I'm a little bit worried. I'd never built before. My money was tight. I said, da. I sold it.
Yeah.
I think I made 35 grand profit. Maybe 40 grand, 30, something like that. And I always look back, man, did I make the right decision? Hearing your story, I made a great decision.
Yeah.
I made a great decision.
It was a nightmare, dude.
It still
And
is
I'm
a
still
nightmare.
living
Yeah.
it. I'm still living it.
7 years later.
Yeah, I'm still living it.
My God.
Yeah, I'm still living it.
Okay, so
I mean,
how-
we use it, but it's a nightmare.
Wow. Okay. So how did your friends kind of impact, they're seeing you as a teacher, you go into real estate. Obviously you have people saying, don't do this, a big mistake. How did your friendships change as you succeeded in real estate?
I don't see my friends as much as I used to. But my friends are still my friends. All my friends are from high school. I didn't have college friends because I went to Kane. I commuted. I hated school. I wanted to be there as little as possible. So really all my friends are from high school or those that I've met in real estate or that work with me. So I don't want to say it impacted much. A lot of my friends have kids now, and as you grow older, you just the natural thing. You just kind of you get further away. But luckily for me, a lot of my friends let me make stupid decisions for them, and 4 of them live in my neighborhood. So
Wow.
So
What do you mean?
I have 3 of my best friends live 3 blocks away, 2 blocks away, and a block away.
There's no way.
Yeah. There's 4 of us in the same neighborhood, and I'm still recruiting. I'm not done.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. You're telling me
Yes.
when you sold them a property?
Yep.
Was it a good deal?
I built one of my best friends a house. My other best friend built his own house, and I'm building currently one of my other best friends a house right now.
How does that work out?
What
if you build my house, things go wrong? Does it hurt the friendship?
No, because it is what it is. I'm not upcharging them. Whatever it cost me to build, they're paying.
So you're not even profiting?
Nope. Not even profiting.
No. Explain more.
Yeah, I'm not even profiting. I just want I want my friends to be near me, and I want my kids to grow up with their kids. I think it's really important.
I agree.
And I think having healthy relationships and, you don't need to do everything in the world to make money, right? I'm blessed to where I make more money than I ever thought I would in my life. And I'm able to do things that 99.9% of people that are, in the world wish they can do. And I'm 33.
Yeah.
So for me, having my friends in walking distance and being able to see them more and have our kids go to school together and be in the same environment is important. I'm very, very, very lucky that I do have a good amount of friends, and friends were important to me my whole life, right? I'm an only child and I have siblings. So they're pivotal in my life because it allowed me to have these relationships with people that I can trust and experience life with and see me for who I am and not judge me. And then they've seen me over the course of my life from the bonehead decisions I made up until not too long ago to where I'm at now, right? And they see what I've accomplished and what I've done, and I know they're proud of me. And we're not like my boys and I. We're men. We don't talk like no one ever compliments each other. We bust each other's balls if anything.
Yeah, of course.
But I know that they're proud of me and they're happy for me and they're genuine for me and all that stuff. So I just think it's important, right?
Let me ask you this. How do you know that people, you're making success, you're making good money, you're in real estate, you came from middle class. Are you ever worried people are trying to take advantage of you?
Yeah, you know, and look,
trying to ride the golden goose.
I mean, you can't live life like that, right? Are people's intentions true or not? You're never going to know. You're never going to be inside their brains, inside their bodies to know. And what I tell people is I don't want to worry about what other people are doing, or I can't control it. So if they are, eventually I'm going to sniff it out.
Yep.
And if I don't, then you know what? Shame on me. But the reality is I don't live worrying about things I can't control. I worry about what I can control, and what I can control is what I control. That's it.
And you go all in on that.
Yeah, I'm all in. And if you burn me once, we're done. It's dead. That's it. Like, I'm very cutthroat. Once we're done, we're done. Doesn't matter what you say. I'm done. It's done.
You're not going back.
That's it. You know.
Wow, very interesting. I'm really, really fascinated, honestly. I really am. Yeah. Now, I guess kind of talking about relationships, something I've found, I really do care for people deeply, right? It's like it's who I am as a person, for better or for worse, actually. Sometimes I think it's actually a major, major weakness in my
100%.
life.
I'm the same way.
A big weakness. Like you're saying, cutthroat, I feel as though one of my weaknesses, I give way too many second chances. Yeah. Now, I knew this shit wasn't going to go well. I knew I should have cut it out, but man, I just wanted to help. Yep. And then it's like the weakness in me. It's like, it's like a hopefulness, but it's like a savior complex almost. Now, let me ask you this. You have a team, right? Mike Martinetti Group, right? Based out of Union. Yep. How does that work in dynamics with your team, right? Your employees, your staff. You have admin. How does that work? How do you have those boundaries? We are probably one
of the tightest real estate groups that there is.
Wow,
tell me more. I can confidently tell you that. I mean, we hang out on almost a monthly basis. I'm with 80% of them when I have parties, when I have gatherings. We're really close, and that was intentional.
Nice.
My team is I have one person that's 64 years old, and I'm really close with him. Like, we're tight. I see his wife and him. We go to dinner.
Oh, nice.
It's like one of my best friends, and he's 64,
nice.
right?
Yeah.
And then everybody else
almost twice your age.
Yeah. But we have the same common interest.
Yeah.
So it works. And then everybody else on my team is 40 years old or younger. Oh, but it's intentional, right? We all hang out. I invite them to any gathering I have, any party I have.
What do you do? Have you ever had someone that you had to let go on your team?
I've had people where it didn't work out, where I wish it did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
not like you're not being cruel, right?
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna stay with you forever. They're gonna die one day, or they're gonna choose out.
Right. So now I'm taking my team serious to where up until 6 months ago I didn't. So
what do you mean by that?
I wasn't really running in the business. I was like, I got a real estate team. This is great. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. Okay. Yeah, we sold the house. Yeah. Now I'm like really trying to run a business, right? I didn't give a shit. I just was, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to sell a house a year. I mean, a house a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely thought I was going to sell 365 houses.
Yeah, I remember.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, actually, we got to take.
Okay,
so for those who don't know, I was at a Christmas party with Mike. I got a call 2 years ago. And that year, the year prior, I think you sold like 200 plus. 205, right? Yeah. So he sold 205 homes by himself. My top year was like 110, 115. Yeah. So he's like double. And that's pretty good, I would say.
It's great.
And he's like doubling me. So I'm like, holy shoot. And you say that to me like, oh, my goal is a house a day. I remember being,
I'm serious.
Yeah, you were.
I thought
you were committed.
Yeah,
you were like, I'm not giving up. Yeah. And I said to you, and that was that year, like a few months prior, I had like a nervous breakdown. I was so stressed. I'm like, listen, this is not life.
Nah.
Like, we got to live. That's not life. And you were like, I'm just going to do it, and then I'm going to chill.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I walked away. I literally called my wife in the car. I said, I met this guy. I literally remember this. I said, I met this guy. His name was Mike. He's in Union. Babe, I realized I have to have balance in my life because you showed me what where my inevitable conclusion was going to be. Yeah. That I just wanted more and more. I'm like, I don't want all that. I want to have a life that's worth. And your coach said it when we met. That's not a life worth living. And when you said that, I'm like, well, you think it is, right? Because it's money. But man, money is at a certain point becomes very not worth it. Very not worth it.
So I mean, the probably the best thing I've ever done in my life was 6 months ago. I went to Mega Camp in Austin.
Okay, what's Mega Camp?
Mega Camp is a Keller Williams event that people across the world, literally the world, go to. Yeah. And you hear the top people in the company speaking on stage about all their successes and things at work and their strategies of how they're generating business, and you can implement things. And the one thing that stuck with me was everyone on this has a coach.
Wow.
And I'm like, damn, I'm really doing something wrong here because my numbers are better than half the people talking. So now I'm pissed because I'm not on stage. I'm mad because I'm like, you're not shit. I sell more than you. And then I'm like, I'm not doing anything right. And I'm actually like pretty successful.
Imagine
if I knew what I was doing. So what did I do? I walked out of the convention. I went right to the coaching booth and I said, "Hi, my name's Michael Martinetti. I want to hire a coach." They showed me a woman. I was like, "Okay, great. You're my coach. I'll hire you." And I was like, "Wait, I'm being way too impulsive." So that I recanted the coaching call with her. I felt awful because she was an amazing woman.
Wow.
And I ended up hiring my coach.
Was it the same woman or no?
No, not the same woman.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. So I went with someone else that I got 2 coaches plus a coach for my director of ops.
Nice.
I had to pay double, but no problem. That was fine. And that was probably the best thing I've ever done. In 6 months, I've completely changed my business.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm holding them accountable. We have weekly meetings. I actually know what I'm talking about at a meeting. Our team meetings were a joke. I would just come in and be like, "All right, guys, what's working? All right, guys, what's not working? Here's what I see. Anyone else got anything? All right, cool, bye." Like, there was no purpose, no accountability, no goals. Like, we would just set goals, but there was no.
It was like make believe.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like I should sell 365 houses.
Yeah.
How would you say, what a whole thing about this group? People see the numbers, you see success, great. But how has like hiring a coach impacted your life?
I mean, it just gives you, it changes everything, right? And here's the thing. You have to be willing to be coached.
Oh, wow.
And if you think that you know everything and you think that you got it all and like that it's stupid, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's not going to work. If you lift weights and you say, "I'm never going to get this weight up. I'm never going to do it." Yeah, guess what? You're not going to do it.
Yeah, you're right.
But if you say, "I'm going to do it," and if you fail, that's okay. You get back up, you try again. So I went into it not knowing anything. Now, mind you, if you interviewed me 7 months ago and you told me you had a coach, I think you're an idiot. Yeah. Right?
This guy doesn't. I remember like one thing that usually when I tell people like, how has real estate impacted your life? Well, I've had to grow a lot. I got into books. I got into mentorship. Yeah. You didn't even read.
No. And I'm reading my first book right now. I'm 3 chapters in, which is a huge accomplishment.
Come on.
I've never read
Proud
a book.
Of you.
Yeah.
Proud of you. But what are you reading?
Rocket Fuel.
Rocket Fuel. Great book by Gino Wickman.
Maybe.
Yeah. He wrote a book called Traction as well. It's a really good book.
Yeah. So my coach is making me read books. And everything that she, so I have 2 coaches. So everything they're both doing, Jordan and Shelby, I'm implementing in my business, and then I'm implementing it into my agent's business. And half my team is trajectory right now to have their best career year.
So pause. How does it make you feel to know that because you decided to change, really reshape what your beliefs were, your team are going to be able to have financials that are going to really change your life?
I mean, I don't know,
because you built a few houses. I'm sure the team is not building a few houses, right?
Yeah.
So you're giving these guys opportunity that previously, frankly, you weren't giving them.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's everything, right?
How does it make you feel?
I mean, it makes me feel great. I genuinely want them to be financially well, right? And I think a lot of leaders in the world get caught up with just worrying about themselves. And I think that's natural. I don't think that's not a natural thing.
It's supernatural.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a strong, minded individual and you have a strong will and a strong work ethic, you're going to want the success and the things that come with success. But for me, yes, I want that. But I also really, really, really want it for them because they're choosing me just as much as I'm choosing them. And ultimately, they all have a role in my success. So I want to have a role in their success. And I want to try to make my role of their success bigger than their role in mine because I feel like I owe it to them. Because without all of their support, we wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. I wouldn't have the money that I have. I wouldn't have the success that I have. I wouldn't have any of it. Because every human has a ceiling, and you're going to hit that ceiling. And if you don't have other people that not only can trust, that you can trust, that are willing to buy into your vision, that are willing to commit to it, then you can only get so far. And they've all done that with me, and they all view me as that. So I feel like somebody that's leading should be doing it 2x or more for them because everything that they're doing has allowed me to live the dream I'm living now. Wow. So I'm giving them opportunities now to buy into my flips. They get equity stakes. I'm giving them opportunities that they wouldn't necessarily have if they weren't with me. And
so how does that work? Let's say someone comes up, hey, I'm flipping property, put up 50,000.
Yeah. So pretty much, I just put it in my group chat. I said, hey, next flip, whoever wants in, let me know how much, whether it's $1,000 or $500,000, and whatever the property ends up selling for, I'm going to divide it by however much money each person get, figure out the exact percentage. If it's 6.3%, they're going to get 6.3% of the profits.
Nice.
Plus their money back.
Yeah, wow, beautiful.
So, and it's just, I'm trying to teach them how to make money in other ways other than just real estate.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like in the world of real estate, but maybe not just commission.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
really good. Yeah, it's so funny. I've gone through this. I really push a lot of my agents prior, or at least 2 agents, like, we could do this. And I actually pulled back. One thing I've learned, and same thing with clients, like, I want to invest. You're not even making money.
No.
Like, so, okay, you want to invest in what? You haven't even figured out how to make like $150,000. If you can't make $150,000, if you haven't figured out the skills, how to market yourself, et cetera, negotiate, whatever it is, to make that much in sales, what are you going to do when you buy a property and then you need a new HVAC and the guy runs you the gambit? You were very different, right? Because you had such a high amount of income. So you could afford making mistakes. A lot of people, they still are making the 80K as a realtor, and it's brutal because it's not consistent. So right now my team, what we're doing is like, we're getting everyone to a place of like income, and we have 2 realtors this year. We have 2 realtors this year who should be buying, the Lord willing, on our team. And then, okay, now that you got that kind of income, let's bring it in, right? It's not this year, the following year. Okay, let's bring it in, let's buy. But what you're saying with the partnership idea, I think is super cool. I might honestly have to steal that. That's really cool.
No, it's great. I mean, and it gives
and it
them,
helps you too.
Yeah,
right?
it does. Yeah, of
It's
course.
a win-win.
Yeah, I mean, it helps me because I could just buy more property, and it helps them because now they're creating wealth in other ways, and they're learning, right? And again, my team's young. Like, so young. We're young. We're all young.
Young in the 40s.
Any knowledge I have, I'm giving it to them. And look, if one of them leave me one day because they want to do bigger and better things, is it going to suck? Yeah, it's going to suck. Yeah. But the reality is I give them everything that I have. Literally, I don't hold anything back.
So this is what I'll tell you. I've had such a difficult time with people leaving. Maybe it was unhealthy, et cetera. It really impacted me deeply. I felt like abandoned, right?
And I think that's normal if you care about your people so much.
Here's what I've learned, and it's really, really helped me. This is what my business coach told me. I agree with the coaching is critical. Yeah. He said, it was actually my pastor. My pastor said to me, every person, because I told my pastor, hey, we're leaving. We're going to a different church. We moved. We love our church. It's very tight, but we're leaving. He said, Rob Parker in the Plant Church Mawa, amazing man. And he said, every person's going to leave. It all depends how. Yeah. It's a huge difference. I've had team members leave this organization that they burned a bridge. And I would not want them back here. I don't want them near anything business. Personally, forgive, reconcile, great. But I don't want them anything near the business. And then I have had team members leave that we just had a team member leave and she came back. Yeah. And 6 months later, she came back. She made amends. But open arms. Come on through. Of course. Right? Of course. So what I've learned is like the framework, and it's going to happen. Right? And this is how real estate has deeply impacted my life. It taught me this. Every person is going to leave. Yeah. I'm not in control whether or not that person leaves, like you're saying. All I can do is my mindset with is such a hard lesson for me to learn, Mike. This was like I took a whooping to learn this one, which is God put this person in my life for me to help them grow. If the pot I have cannot handle the tree or the plant anymore, they need to be replanted. The pot I have isn't big enough. So my job as a business owner is to create a huge world where realtors, where real estate professionals, where clients can come and thrive. And if my world is not big enough, it's not a bad thing. Yeah. No shame on me. Right. You outgrew me. Yes. That's great. Yeah. Go. Because either you're going to grow here or you're going to go out. But I'm not, because everyone in the real estate industry, we're all growth oriented. Of course. And if you're not growth oriented,
you're not making it.
You're not making it. Yeah. Right? You picked the wrong profession. You got to always want to grow. Always. Every 100%. Day. What am I reading? What am I learning? What am I lifting? What am I doing? Who am I taking out? Boom. Let's do a pivot here. Relationships. So you met Kate. What was that like, dating you and like your high income earner? How'd you meet Kate? What was the whole nine?
So Kate DM'd me on Facebook.
Oh, that's how my wife got me. Instagram.
Yeah.
The DM.
Yeah, she DM'd me. So I never did online dating. I'm a very.
What was the DM? Do you remember? She's like, hey, can you help me get pre-qualified?
Yeah, no, I don't. So she added me on Facebook, and then I was like commenting on her stuff, and then she just DM'd me. I think we were talking about Jimmy Fallon. I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then we just started talking, and then we went out, and then. Life happened quick for us. I mean, she got pregnant 3 months into us just dating.
Wow. So you guys went from 0 to 100 real quick. But did you know each other beforehand or no?
No, we didn't.
Oh, so you guys went all the way in.
Yeah, so we were all in. Yeah. But I don't think she really knew. I mean, I drove a nice car, so that she knew I probably did well, but I lived home.
With your parents?
Yeah, I lived home.
Making $400,000 a year.
Yeah. And when we met, I was making a lot more than that. Yeah. But she didn't really understand because I hit it well. I had a nice car.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you didn't see my car, like with what I wore and things like that, you would
the
have
way you spoke.
Yeah, you'd have.
You seem like an average guy.
Yeah, you'd have no idea, right? And she didn't. She genuinely didn't know. And then like life happened. So we had Michael, and I basically was a father once we started dating because she had Mia, and I had to step into that role. And then when she got pregnant is when I moved out because I was giving myself till 30. So she sped my timeline up a whole year.
Wow. Yeah, so you're 29, pregnant with one,
and then
she's pregnant with one.
Yep.
Gotcha. And then where'd you move out to? The house you
Clark.
bought?
Yeah.
That was a house you owned though.
So I actually flipped it. I knocked it down. I built like a 4,500 square foot house.
Beautiful.
COVID happened, and then I was like, all right, well, we're moving in.
Oh,
so
but you were buying it to flip it.
It was on the market for sale. COVID happened literally 4 days later, and then I found out she was pregnant a week later.
So you said, hey, pull it off the market. I'm
we moved in. I bought my partner out, and then I moved in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You bought your partner out at the appraised value? Or how did that work? How does that work?
So he had no financial money in it. He was just building it for me.
Oh, so you paid him,
I gave him
what he
like
owed.
10, 20,000, whatever, something like that.
Blessed.
Because it wasn't worth anything, because honestly, it wasn't selling.
Wow.
Because of COVID.
Yeah, it was just literally
Right.
chaos. Wow. Okay. Now, that's so interesting. And now you're there with Kate. She's pregnant in the house. You guys only knew each other for a few months. How does that all work?
It's tough, man. It's not easy, right?
Especially with you. You work so much.
Yeah.
I know you don't work as much as people think. You're
Yeah,
very,
but I still work. I work a lot, right? No, it's not easy, man. Especially like for those that have children, like kids only make life more difficult.
Oh, for sure.
They don't make it easier.
They make it full.
Yeah,
it's a fuller life,
for sure.
but it's challenging.
Yeah, I mean, and they'll make you argue over the dumbest things, just simply how you yell at the kid. That could be a whole.
But you
argument.
guys didn't even really get the chance. Man, I'm just realizing right now.
Yeah, we didn't date.
You didn't date?
No, we didn't date. Nope. No,
You guys, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah. And then we had 2 more right after because I want them to be close in age. So,
So you said we're really going all in.
Yeah,
and she
pretty
had the
much.
one from the previous marriage.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we dated for like a month and a half, It just kind of happened that way.
How did that impact you guys? What a story.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. It hasn't been easy, but we get through it,
Yeah.
and you make it work because you can either quit or you just fight through it. But no relationship's easy, and a lot of people probably smoke and mirrors with their relationships.
Oh,
but
for sure.
you got 4 little human beings that rely on you, and you got to do your best to make it work. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Marriage. I tell everyone right now, marriage.
It's the hardest thing you ever did.
Marriage is when you get married. Another pastor said this. Said when you get married, you realize how selfish you are.
Yeah, 100%.
And then when you have kids, you realize how selfish you still are.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. How has real estate impacted your relationships? You really didn't date much before.
No, she's the only. So I was dating a girl prior to her, but it was for a year, and then prior to that, I was just single. So I never really dated anybody while having money per se. I was doing well, but all that money I dumped into a house, so I didn't have money. So I was making it, but I didn't have it.
Yeah, house rich, cash poor.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Or house poor. No, what's it called?
Yeah, you're right.
House poor, right?
Yeah. No, I was.
Oh, equity rich, rich, cash poor.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Wow. And now, so I got to ask though. She gets pregnant. When do you think it clicked to her that okay, this guy's borderline work? I know now you've got much more structured. You live in a better life.
She didn't realize, really, honest to God, until less than a year ago. We were on the couch watching TV, and she looked at me and she said, "Are we millionaires?" It was serious.
Come on.
I swear to God.
No, Kay. Can we get? Where's Kay on the podcast?
Yeah.
We got to get you on.
I swear to God, dude. And I'm not the best with time, so maybe it was a little longer than a year.
Yeah, but still.
But it was not long ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
she's just so different. And what did she do before she met you?
She was a registered nurse on stroke and seizure.
Oh
floor.
my God.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what you were saying. You advocating for the nurses. You saw her firsthand.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
crazy
And now
what
she's still working or no? Say with
yeah. So now she moved to aesthetics, and she's doing
nice.
TRT and things with men, and then she also does Botox and stuff.
Sweet.
She's working
and much more flexible schedule. Probably.
Yeah, right. It's flexible schedule.
It gives her
just gets her out of the house, gives her something to do.
Very good.
And it gives her own identity. Yeah.
I was about to say that. Very important. Very important. My wife right now, we're definitely. I'm not the world's richest man by any means, but we're definitely comfortable.
Yeah.
And my wife and I, we live here in Newark. My wife which is, I actually, to be honest with you, I do really like Newark. I wish I lived on the shore because I'm really picking up surfing. So I would just like to go relax and have a slower pace of life.
Yeah, of course.
And the city, it's very hard to have a slow pace of life. You know how it is.
Yeah.
It's so fast here. Clark is slow. It's much slower than the city.
Much slower than this.
Much slower. So, but my wife, she works right across the street from our building. She works in the church. So, but for her, I've seen her. I'm so proud of her, honestly, because I've seen her really. She was stay-at-home mom for a little while, and still she's primarily home because her job. But I've seen her really come alive.
Yeah.
And I've seen her really thrive and like kind of being proud of herself. And making an impact in these, in her job, and it actually is very beautiful. Honestly, it's really beautiful, and she's still a
hard
great,
to be at home.
Yeah, she's still a great mother. Yeah. Oh, brother, it's oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, I'm home 2 hours a day during the week, and I'm like, how the hell? Like, I'm looking forward to go to work. Literally, I'm like, damn, right, oh, it's almost bedtime, and I get to go to work. Like, I'm excited to go to work.
Yeah, because you're right, man. Our wives have. It's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
You have 4.
I know, bro. I got 3 kids under 4, like 4, 2, and 1. They're a disaster, and
oh my god,
it's a disaster. It's a nightmare.
Nuclear.
Yeah, it's bad,
but it's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, but it's a nightmare.
Okay, so all right, let me ask you this: how would you say though now real estate? I know the family life has been a lot. Has real estate impacted at all the marriage, like that you see, or not so much? Because you hear that a lot, right? In real estate, that like, you basically have no time for the wife. You can't do anything with your wife because you're working so much. How can you navigate that? It is still like I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah,
I'm still trying to figure it out.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, we just try to do things like
a date night is really helpful.
Yeah, that we try to go on like 3, 4, 5 vacations with the kids. Good. The shore house helps because in the summer I go down Thursday night after work, whatever time I'm done, or Friday morning very early, and then we're there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come home Monday or Sunday night. So that breaks it up, and then I'm not really tangibly working. But yeah, it's tough, man, because it's like you got that, you have work, and then I like to do other things like individually. Like I like to play my sports. That keeps me sane. Yeah. So it's hard, right? Now I just picked up golf, and that takes hours.
Oh, golf is, what they say, golf is the murder of marriage.
Yeah.
It takes so long.
Yeah. Well, it takes 5-6 hours to play around a golf. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great, but it's so wonderful.
Yeah, it is, and it's great for business. Yeah, so it's hard. Yeah. Like you're with other successful people that have knowledge and you have the opportunity to meet, and then they might refer you to somebody. So big time. It's a huge play for business as well. So now I'm just trying to get good at it so I can take clients out or meet people that are also successful and try to learn from them and anything that I can, whether it's real estate or just life.
I think one thing I loved about your coach when I met, I don't think you really, you're a workhorse, right? Yeah. Which is like, there's a book I would recommend everyone read, and I would recommend yourself definitely read this book after Rocket Fuel. If you want to live a life with more joy and make more money on your time. Right. It's called Buy Back Your Time by this guy, Dan Martell. Okay. And the book basically talks about really doing like a time audit and understanding like, what am I actually spending my time on? Right. What brings me a lot of joy and makes me a lot of money, and how only stay in that quadrant. Right. And really stay in that place of like joy, money. Yeah. And the things that only you can do, really. So with that said, one of the things that he says is, everyone has a threshold of pain. You won't grow into a business that is so much pain. Yeah, that's what happened to me. I started sabotaging my business. I was like, can I sell my business? Can I was stalling on big decisions. Of course, right? Reality was the business I grew I loved it, but it was so. I was really a lot of entrepreneurs. We're actually addicted to chaos. Yeah, of course. And you can do it in your early 30s, late 20s, etc. Eventually, though, guess what? Your life falls apart. Your kids hate you. You're sick. You're just not. You don't have like peace. It's inner peace. You can't remember the last time you talked to God. Right? You're just like living in a different world. You're going so fast, and you're scared to slow down because you don't know what it would feel like to slow down. Yeah. You don't know what it means to be slow. It's scary.
Yeah, it is, especially in our world.
However, it's where longevity and fruitful relationships come. So the guy makes an argument. He's like, to hire an EA, right, executive assistant, to basically run your calendar. She runs his emails, and basically he really advocates for like your example, right, with the 5 vacations. He in the book really advocates for taking vacation with your spouse, alone with the kids. That's one of the things that spurred me. I told you that when my wife and I we left to go to Costa Rica with our kid, and man, dude, that rekindled our marriage like crazy. Yeah, I was like, we haven't done this like in years, and I was like, whoa, we actually love each other.
Yeah.
Like we're actually friends.
Yeah.
Like we're more than partners.
Yep.
We're like, we actually like, there was a reason why this worked out so well.
Of course.
And there's a reason why it's working. So all that to say, I think realistically in real estate, you can get so consumed. And not by you, I mean us, right?
Yeah, of course.
Us as a human, as an industry. And it can really take over every facet of your life and your identity.
Yeah.
But it's important at all costs to like distinguish, at least from how I view it. Distinguish. Like, okay, here's what I do. Here's who I am. Like, I'm not my like income. I'm not my bank account. I'm not like, that's not who like God says I am. I'm actually like, you know, I'm a husband. I'm a father, right? I'm a child of God. I'm a man.
Yeah.
That's who I am. So if real estate fails tomorrow, I still am who I am.
Yeah.
If my client curses me off and fires me, I still am who I am.
Right.
At the end of the day, I got my wife, I got my kid, I got my God.
Yep.
And that's what I got.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but at the same time, I hear what you're saying too. That like the ambition, the drive, it's like so innate. It's like, I love what I do.
Of course. Yeah, it's hard.
So it's hard.
It is hard, you know, but you change every 2-3 years. My whole life changes to things that I never thought. Like if you asked me 3 years ago, like where I'd be, I wouldn't even had a 5th, 10th, 20th of my life programmed the way it is. I never would have thought I'd be where I am.
Yeah, you had 2 more kids?
Yeah. I mean, that and just like what I'm doing in business, where I'm at, like just everything. It's all different. My views, my how I view things, and you know, like you just evolve, right? And if you're not evolving, then someone's just going to blow right by you. So you got to constantly be able to evolve, constantly be able to pivot. Humans hate change. We don't like change. What human likes change? Nobody.
Yeah, you're right.
Every time I update an app and it works differently, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do it? You know, and then it's just like I figure it out. I'm like, all right, it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's funny.
Right?
That's
You
true.
know?
When the iOS updates my iPhone, I'm like, why would they do the updates?
Yeah. We hate change.
But like
change
a week
isn't
later,
normal.
it's great.
It's not normal for humans, but those that can change and those that can pivot are the most successful people in the world.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
I 100% agree, without a doubt in my mind.
So I'm constantly trying to learn and pivot and change. And now I'm into coaching, and I'm into trying to just be a better leader for my team.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be better, you know, for the kids, better for my wife, just a better overall person. But it's hard.
No, okay, Mike. One last question for you. What is something you wish a younger version of you would know in order for you to have a more full life now?
That's a good question. I mean, there's so much, you know, and you're young, so you get it. When you're young and you're starting to become successful and you're figuring it out on your own, you do so much wrong because you're immature. In my opinion, men aren't mature until they're like 30, 35 years old, right? I
met a lot of men,
You know, women grow up at like 22, 23,
American men.
24.
American men.
Yes, American men.
You take a guy in like Chinese man.
Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, these guys are grown at 15.
Yeah. But for American man, I mean,
you take a Russian guy. You tell me the Russian guy.
for sure. So, and I'll use myself as an example.
Yeah.
I'm still immature and I'm 33, right? I'm still not the maturity level of a 33-year-old, but I'm getting close. I'm closing the gap.
Yeah.
I would just say that I wish I got into coaching at an earlier age and trying to learn from those that had more life experience and more doing the things that I was hoping to do rather than trying to figure it out myself and having that pride that I'm going to figure this out. No one's helped me and F everyone, and I'm going to do it because nobody was there to help me and nobody wanted me to succeed. And if I just didn't have that mentality, I can confidently look at you right now and tell you my business would probably be double than what it is right now.
Wow.
Guaranteed.
So kill the ego, get a coach, live large.
And hire people to help you achieve what you want to achieve. And I promise you, you will get there so much faster and you can do things so much quicker than you believe, right? And I look, my numbers they're impressive, and I got them to be impressive, but I hit my threshold of what my natural talent can get, and I kept hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, and then you know what was happening? People that chose to work with me and that I chose to work with them, they were being affected more than me, because I'm still selling and making the money I'm making, but they weren't getting a good leader out of me, but they still saw something in me for whatever reason to stay with me, and then I finally have an aha in August of 2023.
Yeah.
And now their worlds are changing, and I think they see it. And
imagine what it'll be like in 2 years.
Yeah, it's 2 years. I think we're going to have a really good organization. I think I'm going to be a much better leader and hopefully change more people's lives in a positive way.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest thing that I've done wrong, you know. And I had an ego without realizing I had an ego.
Yeah,
You know?
There's a really good book by Ryan Holiday, "Ego is the Enemy,"
Yeah.
and he talks about like how ego is literally the death of us all.
Yeah, yeah, and I really didn't think I had one, because I wasn't arrogant. At least I didn't think I was. I was always willing to help people, but there was just this thing. Like I genuinely believed as I sell 365 houses in a year, and that's all I cared about. Without realizing that that's really all I cared about. And everything I was doing was try to do that. And then I was like, dude, you're an idiot. First off, there's probably less than 100 people in the world that sold 200 houses in a year. You should be happy with that and grow an organization and build a business rather than trying to fulfill this stupid goal you set of selling a house every day. It's so stupid.
Just make
and how many people I told?
Yeah.
You know how many people I told that?
Yeah.
I probably thought I was a raging asshole.
Yeah.
I would have been like, yeah, you're an asshole. But, that's what I believed. And then I had an aha moment. Now I'm changing things, right? And the biggest thing that somebody could take from what I'm saying is that it's never too late to change, right? It's never too late to change. It's okay. And it's never too late to say, hey, I screwed up, or hey, I did this, because I genuinely didn't think I had an ego, but I did. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware.
That I'm not even gonna add to it. That is a perfect, perfect way to end.
Yeah.
In real estate, especially when you have success quickly as you did, the ego is the enemy.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Michael Martinetti. Please follow him everywhere. He's building his social. We love him. Adios.
Bye, guys.